Hi, this is Daryl Meyer from Keller, Texas. Today is Tuesday, September 21st, 2010. Hope you're having a great day today. This first story is from abcnews.com. Just kind of makes you go, huh? Headline says, President Ahmadinejad threatens U.S. with war without boundaries. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad warned the Obama administration today that if Iran's nuclear facilities are attacked, the U.S. will face a war that would know no boundaries. The Iranian president, who is in New York for the annual meetings of the United Nations General Assembly, spoke at a breakfast meeting with reporters and editors at Manhattan's Warwick Hotel. Okay, he's in New York on American soil threatening us with war. Oh, you do this and we're going to take war to you like you'd never know. The gall of this man, this little man. He said that Iran is on the brink of becoming a nuclear power and warned Israel and the U.S. against attacking its nuclear facilities. Asked about the possibility of a U.S.-supported Israeli airstrike against Iran, the fiery Iranian leader said an attack would be considered an act of war, and suggested the U.S. is unprepared for the consequences. Such a war would know no boundaries, Ahmadinejad said. War is not just bombs. Iran claims it has no plans to make a nuclear weapon, but the country is faced with United Nations sanctions, spearheaded by the U.S., meant to convince Iran to comply with international regulations and abandon its nuclear program. Okay, you know, if you follow what this man believes, if you see what his faith is and what it tells him to do, and if you watch what his actions are, we know he is pursuing nuclear weapons. He believes this 12th Imam, this Mahdi, is going to appear, but before he can appear, there has to be global chaos. And what better way to create global chaos than with these wide-ranging, far-reaching nuclear bombs they're trying to build right now. Okay, here's a story out of yahoo.com. Iran's Revolutionary Guard gets new missile. Out of Tehran, Iran's defense minister says the country's powerful Revolutionary Guard has received its first batch of new missiles with enhanced guidance systems to hit ground targets. General Ahmad Vahidi says the defense ministry supplied the Guard with the upgraded surface-to-surface Fatah 110 missile, which was successfully test-fired last month. The weapon was developed by Iran's Aerospace Industries Organization, and it can already hit all of Israel and other parts of the region. Wonder why they need that. Oh, it's a crazy world we live in. You know, sometimes you just have to laugh. I mean, even in the face of such daunting acts going on all over the world, things that just make you go, really? Really? You just have to lean on God. You just have to, because, you know, the Bible talks about lawlessness and godlessness that'll happen in the last days. And here we are. We're seeing it all around us, people. It's everywhere you look. I mean, who would have ever thought, ever in our history, we would have an American president say, I no longer consider America a Christian nation? Really? 76% of Americans claim to be Christian, yet we're not a Christian nation? Interesting times we're living in. Here's something out of yahoo.com. You know, Yahoo comes up with some good news stories. They do their research and check things out. Israel warns of violence if peace talks fail. With an Israeli-Palestinian impasse on settlement construction set to come to a head this weekend, the Israeli military chief said today that new Palestinian violence would erupt if peace talks collapse. The Palestinians are threatened to quit the talks unless a 10-month restriction on settlement construction is extended beyond its planned expiration on this coming Sunday. Israel says it cannot be extended, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu would likely face coalition trouble if he backed down on this issue. Netanyahu today warned the Hamas movement, which rejects peace with Israel, has controlled the Gaza Strip since 2007 and already carried out one deadly attack this month against a new round of violence. So he's saying, hey, get ready, because if we do not extend this building freeze after this coming Sunday, the Palestinians are going to walk away and violence will erupt because of that. So I know yesterday he put a deal on the table saying, hey, you release Jonathan Pollard from jail that he's been in for 25 years, and we might extend it for 3 months in certain areas. But there was no answer to that. Anyway, here we have, this story goes on to talk about Hamas and Hezbollah, both Islamic militant groups that reject peace talks and seek Israel's destruction. We know that's what these groups do. That's their charter. That's what they're in business for. That's why they exist, is for Israel's destruction. And yet the world turns a blind eye and lets these organizations continue going. If somebody came up and said, oh, you know what, I'm going to kill every German. I want to destroy every German in the world. I'm going after them. Or every black person. Or every whatever, fill in the blank. And it would throw up a red flag, and the world community would say, whoa, this can't go on. Yet, because it's an organization wanting to destroy Israel and destroy Jewish people, it seems the world thinks it's okay. Really? More godlessness than lawlessness, like the Bible talks about? I think so, people. You'd have to be blind or completely ignorant to not believe we're living in the last days. Especially since Israel became a nation in 1948. Again, after nearly 2,000 years of exile. Anyway, some other things kind of struck me today. Here's a story out of IsraelToday.com. Obama makes a rare church appearance on the same day as a pro-Palestinian teacher. The story says, before last Sunday, U.S. President Barack Obama and his family had only been to church a handful of times since he became commander-in-chief, and 2 of those visits were for Inauguration Day and Easter. The Obamas, this is their second time to go to church this year. Okay, it's September. They've been to church twice. Claims to be a Christian? Yeah, okay. We all know he's a Muslim. Who's he trying to kid? He's a Muslim. Yeah, I said it. The Obama's family went to church in Washington, D.C. may also have been for a special occasion, to hear a pro-Palestinian activist teach about how Israel needs to surrender its biblical heartland for a phony peace. The president, his wife Michelle, and their 2 daughters attended St. John's Church, an Episcopal church just across the street from the White House, for the morning service on September 19th, a couple days ago. Lo and behold, that is the same morning that guest speaker Ziad Asali of the American Task Force on Palestine had the podium. Palestine? Where exactly is that on the map? Oh yeah, it's not on the map. Asali and the ATFP pretend to want a lasting 2-state solution to the conflict, but also advocate the demographic destruction of the Jewish state by supporting the demand that Israel open its gates to millions of so-called Palestinian refugees. The ATFP blames Israel for the current situation and wants it to apologize for its rebirth as a nation-state, while Asali draws moral equivalency between Palestinian terrorism and Israeli counterterrorism operations. So, this kind of stuff just throws me for a loop. I just want to grab somebody by the shoulders and shake them a little bit and go, "Are you stupid?" Anyway, just seems very odd that, the president shows up at this time. I'm sorry, but the president doesn't schedule things like this on a whim. They don't show up at a place by coincidence. It was planned out. I guarantee you he went there for a reason, because Obama supports his Muslim brothers. Okay? That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Speaking of Obama, I don't know if you've read this today, but out of WorldNet Daily, here's a story. It says, Taking America Back 2010. It's time to impeach Obama for high crimes against the United States. Whoa! President blasted as a Christianity-hating tyrant, working that anvil right now, forging our chains. Chains like bondage. This out of Miami. An urgent plea to impeach a Christianity-hating President Obama for alleged high crimes and misdemeanors was issued today at the start of WorldNet Daily's Taking America Back conference in South Florida. The call was announced by Floyd Brown, president of the Western Center for Journalism, who asserted in strong terms the commander-in-chief is deliberately trying to destroy the principles on which the U.S. was founded. The Obama presidency is a disease, said Brown. Article 2, Section 4, the impeachment clause of the Constitution, is the cure, and it's Obama's hatred of America that makes it absolutely imperative that we take action now. Barack Hussein Obama is not some do-gooder that has had his plans go astray, Brown added. He is not a person of goodwill just trying to make America go the right direction. He is not. Barack Hussein Obama is a liar that absolutely knows what he's doing to the United States of America. He has a plan. He has an agenda. This man knows exactly where he's taking us. This man went off on Obama. Okay? Calls him a dangerous man. Says we're watching the slow progression of a bloodless coup. He's trying to bring America down to his knees. I'm not going to read the whole story, but this guy is tearing him up. Says they've got over 1 million people on this petition to have him impeached. Says he's nationalized the banks. He's nationalized GM and Chrysler. He attacked the Second Amendment. He's taken over health care. He wants cap and trade. He literally taxes the air you breathe. He appointed czars to control your life without congressional oversight. He apologizes for us abroad. He went on and on. It's a very long story. I can't possibly read it all. So, wow. Finally, someone that gets it. Okay, out of 2 Samuel 22, verse 31. I want to read this to you. 2 Samuel 22, verse 31 says, As for God, His way is perfect. The word of the Lord is flawless. Okay? Perfect. You ever say that? Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Well, of course you have. You know, maybe it was after you took a picture or something like that. You know, the lighting was perfect. Everything was just perfect. Now that snapshot sits on your desk and, you know, you clicked it, you caught it, you framed it. It's perfection. Okay? But as you know, perfection is something we can never truly capture. Even the perfect picture is subject to being torn or damaged or lost. You know, that's the fallout of living in an imperfect world. As long as we're trapped in this fallen environment and these fallen bodies, true perfection will always be fleeting. But now think about this. All that God is and all that God does is absolutely perfect. Now think about that for a minute. This thing called perfection that we persistently pursue and never quite capture is found in God and what He does. He never is or does anything less than perfect. You know, for a few years the world was witness to His perfection in the life of Jesus Christ. As He walked earth, humanity had the opportunity to see the perfect man, see Him do perfect things, and eventually offer Himself as the perfect sacrifice. The Bible says that the sacrifice should be without blemish, and Jesus was. He lived a life without sin. He was perfect in every way. Everything about Jesus reflected the perfection of God that we instinctively strive for. The only place we'll find true perfection is in God's presence. He alone will ensure we're progressively perfected until the day we finally see Him face to face. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 10 through 12 says, When that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part will be done away. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. I want to read a couple other scriptures for you too. Deuteronomy 32, verse 4. He is the rock. His works are perfect, and all His ways are just. A faithful God who does no wrong, upright and just is He. Let's go to the words of Jesus. Matthew 5, verse 48. Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. Straight from the words of Jesus Christ. Straight from His mouth. Perfect. What does that mean to you? You know, we can never achieve perfection. We want it, but we can never achieve it because we're fallen, we're sinners. There's no perfect church, there's no perfect people, but we do serve a perfect God. God bless you. I hope to see you tomorrow.